Hey, yo, we locked in. It's due season. It's your boy Carl Anthony, and welcome to the Man Cave. Before I continue, with this video, hit that like button right there. Subscribe, leave a comment. Do what you got to do. But let's get right into it. Poverty and sexual promiscuity. When I think about being a black man and growing up in neighborhoods that were poor, or even middle class neighborhoods, that the black middle class is a little different from the white middle class when it comes to income. So poverty breeds a lot of poverty has a lot of offsprings, a lot of children. And what I mean by that is poverty breeds more drug abuse. Poverty breeds more joblessness. Poverty breeds lack of education. Poverty breeds promiscuity. And poverty also breeds an influx of pregnancy. Now, if you think about it, and I'm speaking about the black community mainly, and I'm not bashing the black community. What I'm saying is there is a condition going on in our community where we have split homes or just single mothers. And even if you do have, even if there is a lot of good fathers out there that are still taking care of their children, do they live with them? Are they there every day to rear their children and steer them in the right direction? Poverty, is the reason why teenage pregnancy is very high in the black community, or teenage abortion. It seems like in the most poverty-stricken neighborhoods, you have the most prostitution, the most lewd homosexuality. I remember, certain areas in Chicago, it was known for girls being a certain way. And, dudes running trains on girls and stuff like that. Like, we had a thing that if you was from the west side of Chicago, she might be a thought. Or a certain part of the south side, she might be a thought. And it's rooted in truth. It's rooted in some kind of truth. But these are like the most poverty-stricken neighborhoods. Where it's the most drug addicts, the most drug selling, low education standards, poverty, and just abandoned buildings everywhere. And it's like people who are in these situations, they satisfy themselves with sexual escapades. You get away from your pain through sex. You feel like you got to be accepted through sex. You yearn for certain types of relationships, so you give up sex. Women tend to want to please men through sex, and that's the only way they can get a man. If you watch your mother grow up single, and you got 4 siblings, and none of you all have the same father, and so your mother continues the pattern as you grow up, and you see her with a different guy, breaking her heart every few months or weeks, who knows? And that pattern begins to happen with you as you get older. And even if you're a man, you see your mother in and out of different relationships with different men, and you end up becoming that same kind of guy where you don't stick to one woman. Um, we teach our sons to go and conquer everything, go and have sex with everybody, every woman, I should say. You know, like, don't pass up you know, no pee hole, don't pass it up. And we tell our girls the opposite, we tell them to think twice, lock it up, don't have sex, don't be a hoe. Now, does that work? No. Because who is your daughter going to date to keep her vow of virginity if every guy's goal is to just conquer everything he has? So when she doesn't have so let's say you do have a girl that's a virgin, right? Now she's battling in high school the stigma of being a virgin and being called a lame and not being desirable to other guys because she's a virgin and because she won't put out. So what happens? The cycle comes and she gives in. And now she's down that path. And so we have a conundrum these days where men think women are trash and vice versa. Women think men are trash. And guess what? We're both right. We are both correct. Women are trash, men are trash. So I don't want you SJWs thinking I'm bashing women. I'm bashing people. But it is in my views that just hypothetically, if we had more homes with two parents in them, two good parents, that's the caveat. Two good parents, let's just say. And when I say good, I mean relatively speaking, two upstanding citizens without criminal records, with jobs, stable income, stable home, and then they raise children together. And they stick together. And they're teaching their children values, right? Now, let's just say you had a whole community or a whole city of upstanding two-parent male and female homes, specifically, with children and income and jobs. How much better would that community be than an opposite community, an opposite community of a single parent household, low income, Section 8, government assistance, whatever the case may be? How much better would the kids thrive that are in the more ideal home situation versus, the not so ideal? What kind of values would they have if your parents are teaching you values and teaching you how to be on both sides, the male and the female? We got to start thinking as men how to change that, especially as black men, how to change those outcomes. That's why it's important to get on your purpose. That's why it's important to have discipline with your lower half, your lower region. See, when you are in poverty, you don't have that much discipline because the only way you can feel manly and feel good is through conquering. Conquering body parts. Having sex with different women, multiple different women, where that's the way you feel alpha like that. Doesn't mean you're alpha because you have sex with a bunch of women. Trust me. It's a lot of beta guys that are sleeping around with a lot of women. It does not mean that you're alpha because you date and because you conquer and you have sex with a lot of women. It is not alpha. I want to make that clear. But you got to understand that. And so we, semen retention is a great way to start establishing this kind of focus and discipline where you can, be more selective in who you choose to share yourself with as men. Most men are not told and taught to be selective with who they share themselves with. We're not taught that. Let's be honest. It's a new movement of the semen retention community and a no-fap community where men are kind of trying to have some more discipline with their sexual nature, right? But we need more of that. We need more men taking a stand, to not only go after pleasure, I know a lot of guys who say that they need something new all the time. They always need a new woman, always need a new, piece of, PU, what else. Trying to keep it clean as possible. But yeah, a lot of men decide that they need multiple partners. And it makes them feel like, man, because I remember being a kid, being a teenager, and being a young adult, and dudes are happy and happy that they can say, man, I hit 3 chicks today. 3 in one day. One girl at noon, dropped her off, took a shower, rolled back out, found another girl, smashed her, dropped her off, took my shower, and one more girl at the night. I know guys who used to live like this. I do. And some guys look up to guys like that. So it end up, the cycle continues. So then it also jades you from your perception of women if you're living this lifestyle. Think about it. If you're promiscuous with women and you're promiscuous with promiscuous women, you think that all women are promiscuous. And the women view you the same. Nobody respects each other. Nobody thinks anybody is worth anything of value outside of your money. These are problems, man. You can't build strong family structures and strong societies with ravenous behavior. You cannot build empires just being loose with how you handle yourself. You can't. And I'm not saying that everybody who's rich is very disciplined with their lower half. But if you think about it, look at the Harvey Weinsteins of the world. Super rich guy. Empire, right? But what happened with him? He's about to lose it all. He's going to jail for his sexual appetite. His devious sexual appetite. You got to understand, we get a lot of our views, especially these days, in the age of smartphones, where porn is free. Where women are, using OnlyFans as a means for income. They don't need jobs anymore. They got guys like you subscribing and paying them money to twerk, finger themselves, have sex on camera for a fee. It's virtual prostitution. And, we give ourselves to these images, and it really disrupts how we are in real relationships. It disrupts how we think. It makes us think that this is what we're supposed to have. There's been a rise in, I remember in high school when certain sexual acts were viewed as taboo, even though people were doing it, but they were still viewed as taboo in my day. And the older I got, the less taboo it became. Women used to be a lot more, you know, respectful of their body count. And now we're in a time period where that's not the case. It's more so that women are cool with, you know, being promiscuous and thinking that that's okay and cool. Who's raising our daughters? Who's raising our sons? Think about it. You know, you want the type of woman that's very freaky and, you know, into other girls and things like that, because you're thinking about the sex only. You're thinking about how great the sex would be. But is that woman somebody you really want to raise your kids? Because do you want your daughters to be like how your girl is? Think about it. The stuff that your girl does and that does with you, do you want your daughter to do the same? Do you? Just for real. Because most likely you don't. Most likely you don't. But poverty breeds these type of behaviors and ideas, man. I'm sure Jeff Bezos, the richest guy in the world right now, is not the most promiscuous guy in the world. He couldn't be. He couldn't be the most promiscuous guy in the world and still, you know, be as successful as he is. You know? Elon Musk, with the way he works, does not have the time to sleep with 20 different women. He doesn't. So, you got to look at your success levels, right? And look at your lower half behavior. Look at your success levels and realize, like, are my actions enhancing my life or adding to the despair in my life? That's the question. I didn't really get too theatrical in this video. Just been pondering these thoughts. And it's something I've been thinking about for a long time, man. I just hope y'all really understand and understand what I'm thinking, what I'm saying to you. Discipline. It's tough. We all fall short, you know, of being totally disciplined in the things that we do. You know, people relapse on no-fap. People relapse on semen retention. Understandable, but it's because we've been conditioned for a long time to have these devious behaviors. You know, we got friends that are influencing us, enhancing us, influencing us to do certain things, and man, you better hit that, and, you know, things like that. And so it's tough. You're dealing with a landscape of people who don't share the same beliefs as you wholeheartedly, even your best friends. Sometimes you got to learn how to detach from your best friends if they don't have your best interests, because you all may be in different spots in your life. Now, you may, and at the time when y'all became best friends, you guys were the same. But if you elevated past that thinking and your friends haven't, sometimes you got to detach from them. It doesn't mean that you're less their friend. It just means that, hey, I don't have time for certain things. You know? But that's my video, man. Like and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.